the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us, right?
I had to be there.
So we getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
The new baby oil.
Should start looking gray if you ain't got nothing on it.
Got the new baby oil, bro.
This ain't baby oil.
You ran through 8,000 jars of them in print.
You know what I mean? He was Ashy Larry.
Relax.
I mean,
I still got everybody looking.
50 Cent is doing something right now that most people aren't fully paying attention to. Yes, he's been posting about Diddy. Yes, he's been making jokes. But if you think this is just trolling, you're missing the bigger picture. Because 50 isn't targeting one person anymore. He's targeting an entire circle. Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Ray J, Stevie J, Marlon Wayans. People who defended Diddy. People who stayed silent. People who barely said anything at all. All of them have ended up in 50's crosshairs. And every single time, he does the same thing. He takes their moment and turns it into his content. Not a coincidence. That's a system. And once you understand how the system works, this whole situation looks completely different. To understand what 50 is doing now, you have to understand who he's always been. 50 Cent does not handle conflict privately. He never has. From the beginning of his career, his response to beef, drama, or disrespect has always been the same. Go public, go loud, and make it entertaining enough that people can't look away. But here's what separates him from most people who do that. He doesn't just react emotionally, he reacts strategically. There's always a layer underneath the joke, a reason behind the post, a move being made while everyone's busy laughing at the meme. His history with Diddy fits exactly into that pattern. The tension between them didn't start with the recent headlines. It's been building for years, quiet sometimes, loud other times, but never fully gone. So when the Diddy situation exploded into the mainstream, 50 didn't need to start from scratch. He already had a foundation. He already had a position. What changed is the scale. Because now, instead of one target, he has an entire network to work with. And that's when his strategy shifted into something much bigger. Here's what makes 50's approach different from a typical beef. Normal beef is one-on-one. Two people go back and forth. One of them eventually backs down, and it's over. What 50 is doing here isn't that. He's not waiting for someone to come at him. He's scanning the entire conversation around Diddy, every interview, every post, every public statement, and using all of it as raw material. Defend Diddy? You're in it. Stay neutral? You're in it. Stay completely silent? You're still in it. There's no position that keeps you safe because 50 isn't looking for a fight. He's looking for content, and content can be made out of anything. A statement, a silence, a confused interview, even an old lyric from 5 years ago. That's the system. And once you see it, you start recognizing it in every single person he's gone after. Floyd Mayweather was one of the first high-profile names to step into the situation, and he didn't even really step in. He just commented. Said something along the lines of, not judging people, not kicking someone while they're down, stay out of other people's business. On any other day, that's a nothing statement. But in this climate, it became a moment. 50 didn't debate Floyd's point. He didn't argue the logic. He just shifted the frame entirely. From what Floyd said to Floyd himself. Old narratives came back. Jokes started circulating. And suddenly the conversation wasn't about Diddy anymore. It was about Floyd looking like he was defending the wrong person. That's the move. 50 doesn't argue with you. He reframes you. And once you're reframed in a viral moment, you spend the next week trying to recover. If Floyd proved that speaking up gets you pulled in, Jay-Z proved that staying quiet doesn't protect you either. Jay-Z said nothing publicly, and 50 used that silence like a weapon against him. Posts about not coming outside, jokes about waiting for things to blow over, hints at a more detailed project focused specifically on Jay-Z, which he never confirmed, but never denied either. That's enough. Because once the idea's out there, people run with it. The speculation starts. Why hasn't he said anything? What does he know? What is he hiding? Jay-Z never responded. But the conversation around him kept growing regardless. And 50 was the one steering it. Rick Ross played it similarly. He didn't make any public statements. He didn't post anything. He stayed completely out of it. It didn't matter. 50 went into the archive, pulled up old lyrics, old moments, old words Ross had said years ago, and connected them to the current situation. Suddenly, Ross wasn't someone who stayed out of it. He was someone whose past words looked suspicious in this new context, and the internet did the rest. That's one of 50's most underrated skills. He doesn't always need something new from you. He can use what you already said. History becomes ammunition. Ray J might be the most interesting case in this whole situation because his reaction wasn't calculated silence or a careful statement. It was genuinely confusing. He gave interviews where he seemed to question the accusations, suggested people might be exaggerating, and asked what some of the charges even really meant. Whether he was trying to defend Diddy, play devil's advocate, or just thinking out loud on camera, it didn't come across clearly. And that confusion was its own kind of problem. Because 50 Cent doesn't need you to say something wrong. He just needs you to give him something to work with, and a rambling, contradictory interview? That's perfect material. The clips got turned into reactions. The reactions became memes. And suddenly Ray J wasn't being discussed for what he actually believed. He was just the guy who said something strange and got clowned for it. Another moment absorbed into the content cycle. Most of the people caught in this situation tried to minimize it. Stevie J did the opposite. He went directly at 50, called him out by name, challenged his intentions, and made it personal enough that he started talking about settling it face to face, which is a completely different energy from everyone else. This wasn't a social media comment. This was a direct challenge. And here's where 50's discipline becomes most visible. He didn't match it. He laughed, made jokes, treated the whole thing like it was part of the entertainment. Because if he responds with anger, Stevie J controls the moment. But if he responds with humor, he stays in control. The challenge gets defused, the challenger looks like he overreacted, and 50 moves on without losing any ground. That's not an accident. That's someone who knows exactly what they're doing in these situations. By the time Marlon Wayans entered the picture, the situation had already expanded far beyond Diddy. And Marlon wasn't even being provocative. He shared a measured opinion about how narratives get shaped, and how there are always multiple sides, but it didn't matter. 50 responded, turned it into memes, added it to the cycle. And that's when you realize this thing has no real ceiling. It's not limited to people directly connected to Diddy. It's not limited to hip-hop. Anyone who publicly engages with this topic, no matter how carefully, risks becoming part of 50's content machine. That's how large this has gotten. So here's the real picture when you zoom out. 50 Cent isn't just beefing with Diddy. He's built an entire content ecosystem around the situation, one where every reaction, every statement, every silence becomes material for the next move. Floyd spoke carefully and got reframed. Jay-Z stayed silent and got targeted anyway. Rick Ross said nothing and got hit with his own past. Ray J got confused on camera and became a meme. Stevie J escalated and got laughed off. Marlon Wayans shared a reasonable opinion and still got pulled in. The pattern is the same every time, and the consistency of it is what makes it clear. This isn't just 50 doing what he's always done. This is a deliberate, expanding strategy, one that keeps him at the center of one of the biggest stories in entertainment, positions him as the person everyone is watching, and costs him almost nothing to maintain. Whether there's a bigger play coming, a documentary, a project, a legal angle, nobody knows yet. But what we do know is that 50 Cent has turned someone else's downfall into his biggest moment in years, and he's not done yet.